And welcome back in to another beer review with yours truly, Nutmeg 2 Palmetto. Coming to you as always from my Midland studio down in South Carolina. I have a very well-known brewery to feature today. And it comes to you out of Rockland County, not Westchester County, Rockland County, New York. This is, of course, District 96. This is called Pastry Snake. It is a pastry stout, checking in at 10%. District 96, they have a great font for their logo, but their cans are typically this two-tone style. So there's nothing too crazy going on, but it's more of a clean look. It's still just as attractive, but it's certainly not as colorful or characteristic as some places. But nonetheless, any less attractive. It's a clean cut can design with a very kind of hardened looking font for their and I'll show you the side again too. More of a hardened font that kind of make it a little more edgy, you know. This is actually a collaboration with Woven Water Brewing Company, which I'm not sure off the top of my head where they are. I don't want to say. For some reason, Florida's in my head, but that's probably not right. So I don't want to say where they're from in the event that I'm wrong, because I tend to be wrong quite a bit. But this is a collaboration between District 96 and Woven Water. It's called Pastry Snake, 10% pastry stout, and it does contain lactose and nuts. So just for any vegan craft beer consumers out there, just be aware if you see this, it does have lactose in it. And I'm going to drink this because it's a stout. I'm going to drink it out of my Pint Owner mug. And Pint Owner, as always, Pint Owner is a brewery up in Spartanburg, in the upstate in South Carolina. And of course, it's been known many times, this is not a pirate ship. So let's get right in it and crack and pour. Woo! Well, as you can see, she's black as the midnight sky. Of course, it's a stout, it's a pastry stout, so that's obviously what you'd expect. You're not gonna get too many color variations in dark beers. And I mean, I'll even bring it close to the light. You're not seeing anything through that. So let's get the nose without further ado. It's a little intoxicating for sure. It really smells like an Oreo. So you're getting sweetness, you're getting a little chocolate, you're definitely picking up sugar, so that might even be the lactose, although I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a brewer, but a home brewer by any stretch of the imagination, but I think sugar is already involved in beer to begin with. That's how you get your alcohol content. But this is like even more so than you would normally get just a regular sweetness out of the beer. Yeah, that just smells like cake frosting. Holy cow! That's either it's the best way I could describe this aroma is cake frosting or the inside of an Oreo. Oh my goodness! I could smell this thing all day and not even drink it and just be totally happy. I will drink it, of course, but I could probably get just as big a buzz just off of dipping my nose in this. I won't snort it though. Any event, let's take a sip, shall we? Ooh. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I need to drink this one more time because it is that gosh darn decadent. I won't chug it, but darn it, I really could if I wanted to. So, very sweet, very, very chocolatey. That frosting note, Oreo filling note that I reference in the aroma. It totally comes through on the flavor. Very consistent between the two descriptive properties. And also, remember, this is a 10% pastry stout. You would not guess, if I didn't give you this can, if I just took it away, you never saw it, and I just gave you this beer, and I told you, what would it be? Now, if you're a craft beer fan, you might say 10% because a lot of lower ABV stouts and porters, that sort of thing, have more of that drier, roasty flavor. They don't necessarily have a sweet flavor. So if you think about it and you're involved in this scene, social scene, environment, industry, whatever the case may be, you might guess that it is higher because of the higher sweetness, higher sugar, higher ABV, whatever the case may be. Just connect the dots, if you will. But you might guess that it's higher ABV, but if you're just run-of-the-mill, what does this taste like? What do you think it is? You would not guess this was 10%. It's so smooth, so sweet. The subtleties, the notes are not boozy whatsoever. It's just all that cookie flavor, sweet flavor, Oreo, cake frosting. It's literally just like you're drinking a little cupcake or something like that. It's wow. It stacks up. It stacks up very well. As do most beers from District 96. They do tend to be at the top of the heap as far as putting out bangers. They are definitely making a name for themselves in the lower region of the state of New York. And this is exceptional. So I will shout out, because I didn't do before, my good friend, the artist formerly known as @BeerForBooper. He did send this to me. So current inhabitant and former inhabitant of the lower part of the state of New York. He's a good man for sending me this, and this is very good. I believe I may have even shared this before on an episode of the podcast I'm a part of with my co-host. So I'm going to take one more sip on camera for you fine folks. It's that dang good. Anywho, if that wasn't enough and you always want more from me, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop, time and day. Try to get them out Wednesdays and Thursdays around lunchtime so you can enjoy them while you're sitting on your lunch break. If you think of a beer you want me to review, or even maybe you want to send me a beer, wink wink, go ahead and email me, nutmeg2palmetto@gmail.com. We'll talk, we'll kick it around. I like to think I'm a fun person to have a conversation with about beer, or even anything after that, for that matter. If you want the rest of my nonsense, and Lord knows there is quite a bit of it, go ahead and follow me on my social media channels, TikTok and Instagram, @nutmeg2palmetto. If social media is not your thing, maybe it's not for everybody, that's totally fine. Go ahead and download, subscribe to the Upstate Beer Boys podcast. We are available on all your major listening platforms. Stephen Wayne and I, we travel around South Carolina. We talk to tap rooms, we talk to breweries. We try to dig in a little bit on their stories and get their experiences out there to the public. So, adds a little humanity to this whole craft beer brewery thing. If they're not just a storefront that makes really good beer and whatnot, there's actually adds an extra bit of element to their product and to their operation. And you always say it's not always the easiest road. It's not always the easiest road to get to these levels of notoriety or success. It sometimes is quite rocky and a lot of obstacles to navigate, as most people would assume, but sometimes it's nice to know the details of all that. Anyway, thanks again to the artist formerly known as @BeerForBooper, and cheers to District 96. I enjoyed my time with you, and who knows, maybe one day in the future I may be back. You never know. Cheers.